So I wanted to make a video to show you a model of a focus sheet, which is one of your assignments for this week for Unit 3. So rather than giving you a study guide, I'm going to ask you guys to make a focus sheet using the instructions on the Google Doc. And this is an example of one that I created for you. You do not have to do it this way. You guys can use two separate papers. You can use a large poster board. But it does have to be handwritten and not created by a computer. So let's go ahead and look at each of the components of this focus sheet so you can get a better understanding of what it is you'll be doing. So notice here at the top, I gave my focus sheet a title. This is Unit 3, Populations Palooza. Just a creative title that relates to what we talked about with populations. I put my name and the class period for this focus sheet. Now notice I've divided each one of these sections, I've numbered them according to the numbers on your focus sheet. Sorry about that. So this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the back, we have numbers 8, 9. I did 2 spaces for number 9, number 11, number 12, and number 13, okay? So you'll notice that some of the numbers are missing, but as long as you follow all the instructions on the focus sheet, you should be fine. So for topic 3.1, we talked about generalists versus specialists. Your instruction is to create a table listing some of the characteristics of these different types of species, listing some examples, and then saying which ones are more likely to be invasive and which ones are more likely to be endangered. Okay? So that was topic 3.1, and this is an example of what I created. Topic 3.2, we talked about R-selected and K-selected species. I'm sorry, the highlighter didn't show that very well, but it says K-selected here. And then again, I list 6 characteristics of each type of these reproductive strategies, some example species, and which ones are more likely to be generalists. Notice that's color coordinated. And which ones are more likely to be specialists. So that kind of links my notes together. Topic 3.3 was survivorship curves. So I have an example of this graph, and I've labeled the graph type 1, type 2, and type 3. Notice again, it's color coordinated. Talked about which ones are more likely to be K-selected or R-selected, and answering questions related to the survivorship curves. Topic 3.4 was carrying capacity. So I have 2 different graphs here to represent these terms: biotic potential, carrying capacity, and overshoot. Notice I've also defined those terms. Topic 3.4 is this is a predator-prey carrying capacity curve. So I've noticed I've labeled this the hare and the lynx, and I've listed some consequences. I've estimated the carrying capacity for this specific graph of my hare and my lynx species. So you don't have to do hare and lynx, but you have to choose a predator-prey relationship and graph that. Topic 3.5, we talked about density-dependent factors versus density-independent factors that can limit populations. So give some examples of resources, and then give examples of things that would be density-dependent factors and density-independent factors that could limit population sizes. On the back, I've continued my discussion of the various topics. Topic 3.8. Now you may have to do a little bit of research for this one. This shows a curve for human populations from the past 10,000 years to the present. Okay? I've also listed some important milestones here, so you may have to do some independent research to figure out more about these milestones and how human populations have changed over the last 10,000 years. We haven't necessarily talked about this, but you should have some information online that can help you just look at general patterns with human populations. Topic 3.7, notice I have 2 spaces for this topic. I have some definitions for some of the terms we looked over: birth rate, death rate, life expectancy, total fertility rate, replacement level fertility, and infant mortality rate. I have also compared more developed countries, or MDCs, with less developed countries, LDCs. So I've given some characteristics and some example countries. For topic 3.6, we talked about age structure diagrams. So I've drawn 4 different examples of rapid growth, slow growth, stable growth, and declining populations, and given some general characteristics and example countries for each type of age structure diagram. Topic 3.9 is demographic transition. So I've drawn in a graph of populations over time and the stages of this transition from pre-industrial nations to highly developed or post-industrial nations, stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I've given some characteristics of each of the 4 stages from our notes on topic 3.9. And the final thing, I'm sorry it's kind of hard to see because my marker bled through, but I included 3 different sample formulas for the population math that we did and some example problems, okay? So again, yours doesn't have to look exactly like this. You guys can use up to 2 different papers, but it does need to be hand-drawn. And this hopefully will help you to review the information that we've learned in Unit 3 to prepare you for your Unit 3 exam. Again, I just want you guys to take a picture of your focus sheet when it's finished. And if there's 2 different pages, take 2 different pictures and upload those to Canvas or email those to me. As always, if you guys have questions, send me an email or arrange a time for a Google Meet, and I'll be happy to help you with this assignment.